It will go down as one of the all-time great Champions League games. 7 goals, incredible drama, it had everything, and was ultimately decided by VAR when joy turned to despair for Manchester City and left Tottenham celebrating one of the greatest nights in the club's history. It is impossible to imagine such a range of emotions when Raheem Sterling thought he had won it in the 93rd minute only for the video referee to rule it out for offside. Pep Guardiola had already run down the touchline to celebrate, only then to have victory snatched from his grasp in the most cruel, heartbreaking fashion. City's dreams of a quadruple has been left in tatters, but that should not also detract from what Mauricio Pochettino's men achieved, because they refused to give up, refused to crumble, and kept going until the bitter end. Pochettino was without Harry Kane, had kids on the bench, and better teams would have cracked under such relentless City pressure, and yet they went to hell and back, came out the other side, and still emerged victorious. They showed remarkable heart and courage. No wonder Pochettino went over to the away end to celebrate with the traveling fans who were chanting "There's only one VAR," as if the video referee was the hero of the night. And the truth is, it was for Tottenham. A long VAR review allowed Fernando Llorente's crucial and ultimately decisive goal to stand, and then ruled out Sterling's. One thing is for sure, VAR will not end the debates. In fact, it could make them even worse. One angle on a replay of Llorente's goal suggested it hit his arm, while Guardiola will feel aggrieved because Christian Eriksen played the ball. It hit Bernardo Silva, who was inches offside, and then went through to Aguero. But was it intentional? Was it offside? The debate goes on. But it only succeeded in adding to the drama because it took both sets of fans on another emotional rollercoaster, as if they had not suffered enough already. City will now have to pick themselves up and go again in 3 days' time because they face Spurs all over again in the Premier League, but the truth is that Guardiola will know this setback will raise more doubts about his managerial record in Europe. Guardiola has built one of the greatest teams in Premier League history. They are reigning champions, and yet there remains a but when it comes to the Champions League and winning the trophy, which will really establish City as one of the biggest clubs in the world. Pochettino has a fraction of Guardiola's budget yet still delivers against the odds, and, even though they will be missing Kane and the suspended Son Heung-min for the first leg of the semi-final, no one should bet against them going all the way. It was an incredible start to the game as City chased down the first leg deficit and were on level terms after just 4 minutes as Sterling scored a wonderful opener, curling a 20-yard shot into the far corner. But Son scored twice in 2 minutes, capitalizing on rare defensive errors from City defender Aymeric Laporte as the Spurs striker put his first under Ederson, and his second was a stunning curling shot into the top corner. Now City needed 4. City never gave up. Bernardo Silva's shot was deflected in off Danny Rose. Then, after 21 minutes, Sterling converted De Bruyne's brilliant low cross. It set a new Champions League record of the quickest to 5 goals in the competition. City kept pressing, and finally the pressure told when Sergio Aguero smashed home a fourth after 59 minutes to put Guardiola's men ahead on aggregate for the first time in the whole tie. Now they were on course for the semi-final. But Spurs had other ideas. Kieran Trippier's corner was turned in by Llorente, and yet that was reviewed, and both fans were left in agony as the referee checked his screen. It got even harder in the 93rd minute when Sterling put the ball in the net only for VAR to intervene. But the video technology was never going to spoil such an incredible night.